Namaste again. Hello. I found an article on Kashmiri Shavism. It's on the Shiva Sutras, on the third section, the means to enlightenment. Okay. And I thought it was a good one to explain what the Kashmiri Shavism is, and I thought it would be a good one to do a little commentary on. And this, again, only substantiates what I was saying before. Okay. Says in Kashmiri Shavism there are three basic means, upayas and one more, which is quite unique in that it's not a means at all. For most, the journey to union with God moves through these three means or upayas again and again, until we are able to hold our consciousness in the final state of realization. Okay, now I have a problem with that sentence. Until we are able to hold our consciousness in the final state of realization. Well, it doesn't come by works, okay? It comes by grace. If you're holding your consciousness there, then also you're already separate from that. It's already dualistic. There is persona in place, which is the doer. Okay. And in realization that at moksha, there is no one there to do it. Okay. That disintegrates. Okay. So let's continue forward. The state of knowing, we have always been that God consciousness which we sought. Okay, people get, they get insights of that. Okay, but it has to be more than an insight. It has to be a living reality for it to be moksha, or liberated state. Let's continue forward. The first section in the Shiva Sutras dealt with the first means, Shambhavapaya, and it's for very advanced aspirants who are able to maintain thoughtlessness in continuity. Shambhavapaya originates from the energy of will, Icha, and thus requires an intensely focused will. Well, again, that's under doership. I'm going to force my mind to be still. That's not the way it works. If one does practices correctly, the mind stills of its own accord. Okay, one no longer is feeding it that energy, therefore it dies. It dies into that ongoing state of thoughtless. It's not a will that's holding it. Okay, and so again, this is the difference between this type of path and this Kashmiri Shavism type of a path. Okay, let's continue forward. For example, Shambhavapaya, the intricate, mysterious mechanism of the Matrika Chakra theory of letters that create this universe, are revealed spontaneously. Well, again, Matrika Chakra theory of letters that create this universe, one knows when one dissolves into that it's not by words and thought. Words and thought are what creates the universe. Okay? One knows it absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt. Okay? That creates the dualistic realm. That's why if you are having thoughts, you are always in dualism. Okay? So let's continue forward. Here the yogi enters into that transcendental consciousness where he finds that this whole universe has come out from sentences, and sentences from words, and words from letters, and letters from the real I, which is Paramashiva, the oneness. Okay? And again, what's spoken of in Advaita is not oneness. Oneness is sort of like one. Okay, things are all interconnected. Okay, it's that first projection which also recognizes Shakti, that movement. but it starts with the I am. I am in that projection. Okay. When we speak of realization in Advaita, there is not this oneness. There's no longer the separation of this persona that feels as if it's one with everything. Okay, that dissolves or implodes into realization. Okay, this state of thoughtlessness is said to be almost automatic when it comes from the grace, anugraha, of an enlightened master, or from the master within you. Okay, this is something that the students here experience. When they come into my presence, their mind stills. Okay, this is why they all want to come visit me, because they don't have to do as much work. Okay, their mind goes into stillness. Or if you're in the presence of the guru, it will start your journey kind of fast forward. It will give it another kick jolt for it to continue to go forward. Okay. So it said that Swami Lakshmanju, who left this world in 1991, said grace will come through his recorded teachings made in Kashmir during his lifetime. I've experienced this nectar in various degrees, so I know that it's true that sounds coming from his voice have the power to vivify the teachings and alter consciousness. Yes, there is a transmission that takes place. Just as students that are connected here, they feel the transmission, and watching the videos that have been done also can aid them to go into a stilling. Okay. The second section of the Shiva Sutras relates to the next means of achieving God consciousness, Shaktopaya, which originates from the energy of knowledge or Gyan. The aspiring yogi must raise his or her consciousness to the point that the wisdom can be absorbed of the master who is within, or a living teacher. Okay, in Shaktopaya, the yogi does not have to recite mantras or use his breath to be aware or concentrate on any particular spot. Here, centering on the reality between any two actions or any two thoughts results in unbroken awareness, which leads you into God consciousness. Okay, so in that method, you have to find that reality between the two. Okay, very short, infinitesimal space to be able to rest in that. Okay. But again, there are many different methodologies to come to that point. Swami Lakshmanju refers to the three sections in the Shiva Sutras as awakenings. The third section, awakening, is concerned with Anuvapaya, which is termed the inferior means to enter into God consciousness, and uses imagination. Okay. Well, I think that that's what a lot of these teachers, like Osho and T.M. Mahesh Yogi, Nityananda, that they teach this imagination. You know, they tell you this and this and this and this is going to take place, and one's imagination grows and grabs onto it, but it's not permanent, okay? Yes, you can experience a lot of things, but it's not going to be a permanent thing. So let's see what it says here. Like I say, it's the longest section with 45 sutras that explain various techniques, such as process of concentrating on breath, organs of sensation, contemplation, concentrating on a particular place. Also informs the aspirant of possible consequences of how we achieve elevated states and yet often lose what we attain. These three means of achieving God consciousness are explained in greater detail in Swami Lakshmanju's book, Kashmiri Shavism, The Secret Supreme. This book serves as a sort of reference dictionary or shortened encyclopedia of Kashmiri Shavism. It is said to be a condensed version of Abhinavgupta's magnum opus in the Tantra Loka, which is the enlightened Kashmiri genius, superb writer, and poet. Abhinavgupta collected and brilliantly arranged all the wisdom of Kashmiri Shavism. Okay. It says there is one final means, upaya, which has to be everyone's favorite because you don't have to do anything. It's called anupaya and is actually no means at all. In anupaya, nothing is to be done. Be as you are. If you're talking, go on talking. Don't do anything, only reside in your being. Well, okay, only reside in your being. You have to understand what your being is to reside within it. Okay, fun and of course easier said than done. Obviously, this is for the very advanced yogi and one who is just on the edge of already God consciousness. Still, the idea of doing nothing to achieve what you already are is very appealing. Well, you're not going to get there by your own efforts again. There are practices one puts into place, but actual realization happens by grace. Okay? It actually happens by grace. Okay? And a lot of satsang teachers will love to say that there's nothing to get, there's nowhere to go, you're already that, and so people think all they have to do is this name and claim it type of thing. All I have to do is say that I'm already, that God essence, and that's all I have to do, and convince myself of it, and walk around and say I'm a little God, and I can manifest, and I can do all these things, and it's going to spontaneously happen. Okay. But there's no genuine moksha and liberation in that. So I will close this out here. And I hope that everyone's having a wonderful evening. Okay. Namaste.